here's a Siesta, a beautiful card flourished by our friend Alejandro Portela, and we actually approached him in 2017. He said he was planning to release some notes, not necessarily something that happened. Alejandro has a lot of stuff to be worried about. If you want to, you can send him best wishes on becoming a parent via the links in the description. We're talking about the flourish though. We are fortunate enough to get a permission from Alejandro to teach this one. I've been practicing this for like 3 years. I have come up with a small variation of mine, so let's get straight to the tutorial. Alright, so here's the tutorial for the Siesta. It's a move that I kinda discovered how it's done on my own. Don't be discouraged if it doesn't work for you on your first try. So first and foremost, grab yourself a brand new deck of playing cards. I would recommend you starting and learning this one with a brand new deck of cards. Of course, eventually you'll be able to perform it with a slightly worn-in deck, but a brand new deck of cards that is produced by the United States Playing Card Company, USPCC, Crush Stock, works fantastic for that. Then of course what you need is smooth edges on your thumb and smooth edges on your middle finger. It may sound funny, but you actually can't afford having blisters, humidity around your hands, around your cards as well, because it will prevent cards from sliding elegantly from your hand to another hand. You'll be having some kind of gaps. The grip is quite interesting. You need to hold your deck first and foremost in the middle grip, and from here you kind of grip it in this elevated straddle grip in your left hand. But then your middle grip comes into play when you're beveling the deck with your middle finger and thumb, just preparing the entire stack for the move. And what you do next is you just try to slide the cards, the top portion of the cards, with your middle finger. This is something that you probably do when you're performing a regular one-handed fan. Once you achieve this kind of like a spread technique, if you can achieve this, you will be able to perform a Siesta much easier. There is no such thing as a firm grip in this flourish. It's all done by subtle, gentle touches of the deck. You're almost barely touching the cards, they're performing the flourish for you. Ensure one more time there are no pockets of air in between the cards, and the best way to do this, even with the new deck, it happens sometimes, is to perform a riffle shuffle or a fair shuffle and a flourish like under pressure. You obviously bevel the cards like that, and then when you are tilting the entire stack like that, the cards will naturally fall down. This is something you need to learn to achieve. When you're tilting the cards, let go, and you'll be getting into this position. It will look a little bit messy, but this is the first step in the right direction. So you're learning how to achieve this action by just letting the cards go. And then this subtlety, the entire move is dependent on this finger, of course, the smoothness of this finger too. So when you are riffling the cards, it seems like you are starting from this kind of like diagonal position, but then you're switching to this finger almost being horizontal like that. And this is essential because it will allow you smoothly to let the cards go and fall down. This is essentially the move. So what you're doing is you're allowing the cards to fall down just by measuring how many cards are gonna be sliding underneath your middle finger. A very subtle move one more time, so you're riffling the cards like that. You see, this is a very solid Siesta. You can of course make it a little bit longer, maybe something like this. But this is already a good result. If you're achieving this kind of distance, I think you achieved Siesta. One more time, like I said before, there is no firm grip, so you don't really have to push with your thumb. You kinda need to let the cards go, because these cards are the first row, the first cards that are gonna be sliding down. So what you need to ensure that this part of your thumb is also quite smooth and the cards can slide across this finger. You wouldn't believe how important the humidity levels in your room, in whatever environment that you're performing the flourish are, and you wouldn't believe how important to have these edges of your fingers quite smooth. It's a very nice utility move, and of course you can perform it later on. Once you master it, you can perform it with a slightly more worn-in decks. Sometimes you want to go into a flourish straight away, you don't want to wait for the cards to fall down. What I came up with is when you grab a portion of the cards and you let them go, you obviously sometimes can be left with a portion of the cards in your right hand. So how it works, you just perform a siesta and you have a portion of your cards in your left hand. And that's where you obviously can get into a position of the revolution cut, like that. So you can slide the cards like that. And maybe something interesting like packet toss. You're left with this packet and you can toss it like that. So here's a brief tutorial on how you do this. You perform the siesta, pick up some cards, and you'll be left with the packet. Glide with my middle finger alongside this short edge. And once I do that, I actually achieve this position where I can toss it. This is the angle at which you should be tossing it. Kind of like 45 degrees angle if you take these two short edges. And let it fall down over across your index finger like that. This is what you're trying to achieve.
So hopefully now you finally can perform siesta. It's a very elegant and beautiful flourish when performed correctly. It takes a lot of practice, but don't be discouraged. And these are ZDV2, our second deck of playing cards. You can still get them. Limited quantities available, links are in the description below. If you want us to teach something else, let us know in the comments. Drop a like, much love, and I'll see you in the next one. До побачення.